Have you ever stood in ruins and felt like you were being watched? Not by people, but by time itself? All over the world, we find remnants of civilizations that should not exist. Stone too precisely cut, cities too complex to match their era, languages no one can read. And when we try to trace their past, we find nothing. No origin, no clear end. Just silence. Tonight, we explore 5 civilizations that defy history. Cultures that left behind evidence of brilliance, but no explanation. They rose, they built, they vanished. Let's walk through the echoes.
The Nabta Playa culture, Egypt's forgotten stone circle. Before the pyramids, before the pharaohs, before even the Nile Valley thrived, the desert of southern Egypt hid something extraordinary. In the desolate sands of Nabta Playa, there lies a circle of standing stones, some upright, some collapsed, some weathered by 7,000 years of wind and sun. They form celestial alignments, marking solstices, equinoxes, and star movements, a prehistoric calendar, a monument to time itself. And yet, this place predates Stonehenge by over 1,000 years. The people of Nabta Playa were nomadic cattle herders, but how did they build something so precise in such a harsh environment? How did they track the stars without writing, without science? They left behind pottery, animal bones, carved artifacts, but no language, no explanation. The desert eventually dried, the rains never came, and the people vanished, leaving only stones pointing toward the sky. Archaeologists believe this may have been the earliest known ritual site in Africa, but they still don't know why it was built, or how, with nothing more than hands and sky. Some speculate these people migrated north, eventually becoming part of Egypt's early dynastic rise. Others believe their knowledge disappeared with them, lost to sand and time. Now all that remains are stones that keep perfect time, but no longer have a voice.
The Sanxingdui civilization, China's Bronze Age enigma. Imagine digging in your backyard and discovering a mask taller than your chest, with golden eyes bulging from its sockets. In 1986, workers near the city of Guanhan in Sichuan province struck something unexpected. Beneath the soil were pits filled with hundreds of artifacts, jade blades, elephant tusks, and massive bronze sculptures unlike anything ever seen in Chinese history. The faces on these artifacts had exaggerated features, eyes like horns, mouths wide open. Some were stylized, others felt alien. This was Sanxingdui. Carbon dating placed the civilization around 1200 BCE, but they didn't resemble the Shang dynasty, which ruled central China at the time. Their bronze casting was more advanced, and their artistic style was entirely unique. The Sanxingdui people built massive walls, complex irrigation systems, and urban layouts. They crafted masks, trees of bronze, and tools made for both ritual and war. And then, around 1100 BCE, they disappeared. No destruction layer, no invading army, just abandonment. Later discoveries found more sites related to Sanxingdui nearby, suggesting this wasn't just a city, it was a civilization, possibly with its own religion, language, and political system. So why did they vanish? One theory suggests an earthquake shifted river paths, cutting off water supply. Others suspect internal collapse. But with no written records, all we have are their haunting sculptures and questions that stretch far beyond the bronze. Some researchers wonder if Sanxingdui was an isolated cultural bloom, an ancient offshoot with ideas lost to time. Or was it part of a forgotten network? We may never know. The masks remain. Their creators do not.
The Kingdom of Aksum, Africa's lost empire. High in the mountains of Ethiopia, where mist rolls across rugged cliffs, stands the ruins of an empire that once rivaled Rome. Aksum. From around 100 CE to 940 CE, Aksum was a hub of trade, power, and innovation. They minted coins, wrote inscriptions in their own script called gaze, and built monolithic stelae, stone towers weighing hundreds of tons. The largest still standing is over 78 feet tall. Others collapsed long ago, cracking the earth where they fell. Aksum was one of the first empires to adopt Christianity, predating most of Europe. Its people built underground tombs, royal palaces, and irrigation systems. They controlled trade from the Red Sea to the interior of Africa, connecting India, Arabia, and Rome through caravans and ships. And yet, their story faded. By the 10th century, Aksum was in decline. Climate shifts may have dried up fertile land. Islamic conquests may have cut them off from trade routes. Some say internal strife caused their fragmentation. But no grand war, no conclusive end, just a quiet retreat into the mountains. What makes Aksum so mysterious isn't just its disappearance, it's the lack of attention it's received. For centuries, Western historians barely mentioned it, and yet here was a kingdom with its own script, religion, coinage, and culture, equal to any classical empire. Today, the city of Aksum still exists. Farmers walk past stone ruins. Churches still stand where kings once ruled. And the stelae still reach toward the sky, as if remembering something we forgot. The Indus Valley Civilization. The people without a Rosetta Stone. Travel to the vast plains of the Indus River, where dusty winds whisper across buried cities, Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, Dholavira. 4,000 years ago, this was one of the world's largest civilizations. The Indus Valley Civilization covered more area than ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia. It had cities with paved streets, multi-story homes, sewage systems, wells, and public baths. It had order, scale, sophistication. And yet, we know almost nothing about them. Their script, etched on seals and pottery, remains undeciphered. Over 400 unique symbols, used for over 600 years, and no modern linguist can crack them. No temples, no kings' names, no war murals. Just calm order and silence. It's as if their society functioned without ego, without monuments to glory. Around 1900 BCE, their cities began to empty, slowly, eerily. Some blame a drying river. Others point to a weakened monsoon pattern or gradual ecological collapse. No mass graves, no conquest, just a fade into the fog. Some believe the Indus people migrated east, becoming part of early Vedic culture. Others think they dissolved entirely. Without language, we can't ask them. We can only guess. The people who mastered water, built silent cities, and traded across continents, now lie beneath dust, watching.
The Olmecs, Mesoamerica's mysterious giants. Before the Maya built pyramids, before the Aztecs ruled from Tenochtitlan, there were the Olmecs. Along the swampy Gulf coast of Mexico,
Between 1600 and 400 BCE, the Olmecs rose from the jungle. We know them by their stone heads, massive basalt monuments, some 9 feet tall, weighing 20 tons, carved with deeply human faces, flat noses, thick lips, helmets. Were they rulers, athletes, deities? We still don't know. The Olmecs were the mother culture of Mesoamerica. They developed writing, mathematics, calendar systems, and possibly the earliest use of zero. They built pyramids, played ritual ball games, created ceremonial centers aligned with the stars. Their art was strange, were-jaguars, human-animal hybrids, and mysterious glyphs that still haven't been translated. Then, just like the others, they vanished. By 400 BCE, their cities were abandoned, their sculptures left to the jungle. Later cultures borrowed from them, but even the Maya seemed unsure of who they really were. The jungle reclaimed them, the rains washed away their paths, and today only their heads remain, watching in silence. Side note: how many civilizations are still lost? Some archaeologists believe we've only discovered a fraction of ancient civilizations. Dense jungles in the Amazon and Southeast Asia may still hide entire cities. LiDAR technology, using lasers to map terrain, has already revealed hidden temples and road networks beneath forests. It's possible that dozens more lost civilizations lie waiting just below the surface. Not mythical, not alien, just forgotten, for now.
What happens when a civilization disappears? Not just physically, but culturally, spiritually, emotionally. Each of these cultures rose from the earth, mastered something extraordinary, and then dissolved into silence. Their languages are lost, their names forgotten, their stories incomplete. But their cities still stand, their stones still whisper. They remind us that history is not a line, it's a spiral. One day, our own world might be buried beneath dust, and someone else will ask, who were they, and why did they vanish? So sleep now, and dream of ancient cities. Dream of symbols that haven't been read in 5,000 years. Dream of lights in the jungle, roads under the sand, and voices that still echo in the dark. Because history is never lost. It only waits to be found again.